Welcome back, everybody, to the Heroes of the Storm Power Hour. We're back yet again for another week of awesomeness in the Nexus, and let me tell you a little bit about how this show flows, okay? First and foremost, it's split up into two sections. The first one is all of your news and discussion and things to look forward to that is coming from Blizzard Entertainment when it comes to Heroes of the Storm, but the second portion focuses on team comps, gameplay, and just having a great time. So, make sure you guys are sticking around for both of those, but the podcast has a few hosts, and I don't do this by myself, and I'm very ecstatic that I don't do that. Let me make just a few introductions. First and foremost, directly below me is the spit, gum, and glue of BlizzPro.com, Mr. J.R. Cook, a.k.a. Eldorian. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, Twiz. It's good to be here. I think I missed the last show, actually, so I'm ready to play some Heroes,
Yeah,
man.
so did all five of us, so don't worry about it.
Well, I'm talking about the one before that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I will talk briefly about that in just a moment. So, I was surprised. I thought you were going to hit me with, like, a crazy joke.
I was not prepared.
You are not prepared.
Got nothing this week.
Yeah, that's okay. Just below him is the demon slaying. Those eyes, dude. You had crazy eyes for a second there. The demon slaying Diablo Master 5000, the best part-time host you could ever ask for in a podcast, Mr. Nineball. Welcome back to the show, brother.
Oh, I thank you for that wonderful introduction there. I'm glad I've been elevated to part-time.
That's right.
That's great.
What's that voice? That sounds familiar.
Who's this guy? Why is he here? How do you get on the show?
Remember him.
Oh.
Sounds like a Muppet.
Oh, yeah, a Muppet of a man. Just below him is the Three Viking Wrecking Crew, the man who only had one job and sometimes can pull that off. It's DJ Tyrant. Welcome back for another week of beatings.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited for this week's episode. There was a lot of stuff going on. If you watched this weekend, there was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah? Yep. And you were right there in the thick of it with your fighting hair. I love every bit of it. I love every bit of it. Give you a big kiss if I could. And last but certainly not least, the brains behind the operation, the shot caller of Portion 2, and probably the smartest guy on the podcast. It's Balrog Fan BP. Welcome back, dude.
I'm smart.
I'm smart. I do all the smart things.
Yes.
So, yes, that was just a very awkward yes.
I'm proving my smart chops tonight.
Dude, that beard is getting ferocious. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this on the download on iTunes, you need to watch this show and just see how fierce that beard is getting right now.
Someone has described my beard as good but angry. I think I agree.
It's good, but
It's half a dunk train.
Yes.
Yes.
You're having to compensate for the two hosts that refuse to grow beards.
Well, and when you don't show up, I got to carry the beard game so hard.
Pretty much. I'm sorry when I let you have to, you and Jimmy go by yourselves with that.
Yeah.
I know. And Jimmy's just rocking the scruff. Like,
right.
He's doing the 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, you can blame the girlfriend for that. She's in chat, so give her all the grief you can.
Grr, let him grow it. Hashtag let Jimmy be free.
Free Jimmy.
Free Jimmy.
Free Jimmy. So, anyways, hey guys, real quick, I want to bring up a real quick thing. I'm sorry that we did not have a show last week. That is completely on me, okay? And I just want to quick crash course. I had some family problems come up, and you know, everything is under control now. Everything is good. But you know what? I have the opinion, and hopefully you at home as well have the opinion that no matter what, family comes first. I mean, gaming is a great thing. It's a great hobby. It's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to just have fun and spend time. But ultimately, family comes first. So I appreciate your patience as we got through that, and yeah, we're back again. So let's focus on the here and the now, and we've got a whole bunch that we want to cover. So let's talk really quick, guys. How's your week in Heroes? How's your week in gaming, Eldorian? Anything good?
Oh, man, it's been a busy week. Unfortunately, not a lot of it has been with Heroes, but I have been trying to play Muradin, and as Charlie will tell you, I am terrible with Muradin, and I should probably never play Muradin.
I wouldn't say that to your face.
Except when you're drunk, and you did. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
there was that one time.
Part of my training regimen.
Always bringing up old crap. Way to go.
So I learned that lesson the hard way. I think I made Charlie rage quit. So
Oh my gosh.
That was not a rage quit. That was
No, seriously, my internet disconnected. It's the truth. You gotta believe me.
Lightning storm of maybe no.
yeah, so I gotta stick with my Vala and Sylvanas and other heroes I'm better with. More range. Range seems to be what I'm good at. Anything that's good with positioning.
I mean, I think you can feel it out, though. I really do. It's just it's a work in process, right?
Or progress, even.
Yep.
Work in progress process.
Yes.
It's the process of being a work in progress.
God, that is a mean beard.
Aren't you happy you called me smart today?
How about Mr. Nineball? Any love in the world of Heroes of the Storm for you?
Not quite this past week, and actually the week before that. Last week I took a small vacation up to Disney World, and for my penance on that one is work has been kicking my ass in order to take that short little trip. And then Destiny came out, and so I've been kind of being bad and playing a non-Blizzard game. But we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry.
Nineball comes back and it's the Destiny Power Hour. That's nice.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. We're branching out, people.
Dude, have you geared up and gotten to 40 yet?
I got to 40 like the other day because I mean, like, even though I've been spending some of my free time playing that, you're talking about I get home at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll play till 4, and then fall asleep.
Okay, so obviously Charlie knows about the game because he knows it caps out at 40 with this expansion.
No, because I got to hear people like Nineball talk about it. God,
I didn't say anything. You're playing your hand there, man.
That's true. I'm all over the Destiny Reddit. I can't get enough.
Said no one ever.
Slammed to Destiny tonight.
Yeah, that's right. So, very cool.
Hey, take a hike, apparently.
It does kind of connect to Blizzard, because isn't it put out by Activision?
Yes, so Blizzard is in fact making money off of this game.
They're making money off of this.
Wait, is there going to be a Rock and Roll Racing crossover? Because then I'm all in.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I can't say I blame you there. Can't say I blame you there. So, how about you? I know, Mr. DJ Tyrant, you had a whole bunch of Heroes-related stuff in the week, but any gaming in particular?
Yeah, on Sunday, I finished up my placement matches for Hero League, and I got into rank 41, so I have some work to do. Mm-hmm. But also, I queued up for my second to last placement match, and I ended up getting into a game with Mick Montgomery over at Stormcast.
Nice.
And I have a really bad habit of alt-tabbing if I'm solo queuing, because I'm just like, whatever, I'll choose whatever when it comes up.
Sure.
Especially if I'm late in the draft. I won't do this if I'm like first or second. And so I alt-tab back, and he's been messaging me the whole time, and I didn't notice it was him until we were in game, but we wrecked face. It was nice. But yeah, I played a few games, not as much as I watched, though. There was a lot of watching Heroes this weekend.
I hear you.
I wonder what you mean.
Mitch is a good dude. Stormcast is a fun show.
Yeah, I love those guys.
Yep. They're great. Sweet. And how about you, Mr. Balrog fan?
I've been playing this a lot, and Hearthstone. Actually, JR put a Shaman control deck up that me and Twiz basically have just been enjoying quite a bit.
Frothing at the mouth over. Yeah.
Oh, it's so much fun.
It is so much fun.
Yeah, just doing team league matches and solo queuing, and trying to get time in when I can. I honestly just last week my job changed, and I went from staying up till 6 a.m. to having to get up at 6 a.m. So it's been a work in progress.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So basically, everybody, you're tuned into a podcast with 5 people who didn't play shit worth of Heroes this past 2 weeks. So
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, you know what? That I kid. I mean, we play, but it's the same. It's kind of the same grind over. Last week I played a lot of Thrall, and Thrall is still Thrall. He he's decent early game, not so much mid game, but late game just a monster. And I forgot about that. That he's like
in a really good place right now.
Yep, he is very much so. And so I did do that. I played Mirrodin. I feel I play Mirrodin okay. I still have some learning to do, but I think that you know what, you get in there, you thunderclap, you stun what you can, you hope people can capitalize on the stuns. If you can land the skill shot, then and somebody can capitalize on it, well, then it's game over for them. And if you're going to die, you jump out. And that's how you play Mirrodin. You're not going to have crazy numbers, you know. I mean, it's like ETC, a whole bunch of utility, but not all, you know. You're not going to tab over to the numbers and be like, oh man, I am just killing it, you know. I mean, that's not the realm that he plays in. So,
well, he's a little different from ETC because he's actually good. So.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Damn, shots fired.
Yeah.
I don't like where ETC is right now. It upsets me.
Well, it's okay. I don't know, man. The movable mosh pit. It's just I think it's the meta. I don't think it's the fact that he's not. Yeah.
Well, he has no damage, and his controlling of like spacing isn't as good as Johanna, so there's no real reason to pick him.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not that what he does is so bad. It's just that other tanks do it way better.
Okay. All right. Well, I've been playing Mirrodin, not him, so I don't feel like I've been missing out. But anyway, so let's talk about the Heroes Americas Championship, and obviously a big congrats to Cloud9. What did you guys think of the games? And I know Jimmy was there. So Jimmy, tell me about the entire experience. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set the scene for you so you don't screw this up, okay?
Okay.
So I woke up in the morning and I was feeling a little weird and I had something. So I sat down, I took my morning dump, and then I got up and go.
I went to work and then I left to go on our caravan of a group of like 11 or 12 people with a bunch of community members. Anyways, fast forward. We were in Vegas. We got to go watch the event there. It was almost a mini BlizzCon. There was a store there to go buy stuff. Like I bought this demonic Tyrael.
Oh yeah,
very cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a convention exclusive, so I'm sure it will show up at other conventions like BlizzCon and stuff like that.
And eBay.
But anyways, we were there for the games. We watched. I watched almost all the games, but there was a lot of press stuff to do too. We interviewed all the players on Friday, and then on Saturday we had a developer roundtable, and we're going to talk about that more a little bit later. But the event was really well done. Obviously, there were if you were watching it, there were some technical hiccups here and there, but overall, I think it was really well done. And probably my favorite thing was seeing Gillyweed cast, just because she's put in a couple months of really hard work of learning heroes really deeply and casting all these tournaments here and there, and just seeing a female caster in the scene is really good, I think. And I really like Gilly. She's really sweet, and I got to meet her husband, and he's really, really awesome. Now, a little bit of a funny story about that. He actually stayed with us because Gilly asked him, "Oh, are you going to stay up late?" He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh," she said, "Oh, you can't stay with me then." Because she was like, "Oh, I gotta stay disciplined and actually go to bed at a decent hour and not go crazy." Right.
That's a long cast.
Yeah, that first day she had like 5 or 6 matches, I think, that she casted. That first day was really long, but it was a lot of fun. And one of the funniest moments, I think, was the first game starts and the game loads up, and I'm sitting in the press section, and right behind me is Forecourt Jester, who, if you know him, he's another caster community member, and he's just going bananas because there's this new UI on the screen. He's like, "Are you guys seeing that?" It was just really funny because they finally have a really good UI where you can see the talents and everything, and the mini maps there. And I know people had a lot of complaints after Heroes of the Dorm.
It's really impressive how, I don't know. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say. I was gonna say something I'd have to edit out. Okay. So, anyways,
no worries. But anyways,
it's almost worth the edit.
I forget I'm gonna find it really quick. But anyways, Blizzard did bring in a community member for the building this. They did hire on Gameheart, who is a StarCraft 2 guy. He's at Blizzard now, and they worked with Ollie, AHLI, and he made the observer interface that pretty much any cast uses these days. And they brought him in to make this custom UI. And I talked to Chris Siggety on Saturday night, and he told me it's coming in a future patch, so it will be available for casters to use in the future.
Cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really liking what they're doing with the game, and as far as like that kind of stuff, or like the Twitch integration that they did this week. If you watch it, you got something in game. I mean, it was only a portrait, but still, that's pretty cool. I like how they're starting to try to follow kind of what Valve does with Dota 2 in regards with their esports.
Yep.
Well, the Twitch integration kind of just hints that there might be more to come.
Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully. We'll see, though.
And one of the biggest things that I noticed was, like, I went through a small phase, like, earlier last week or maybe the end of the last week before that, where I would, like, log into Heroes and I would just look at all the heroes that I have and I would be like, no. And I would log off. And you watch this event and the production value is second to none. Second to none. And it gets you fired up to play this game. It gets you fired up to watch this game, and I am just so happy that you know, like, Blizzard is like, look, we are gonna be in the MOBA arena, whether you like it or not, and we are going to, you know, we are gonna make it feel like there is 1.6 billion people that play this game, whether there is or isn't, and we are going all out no matter what. And I really, really love that. I really do.
One thing I'm really excited for, and this kind of all highlighted this week because of people like Gilly and them using a UI interface that was created for the amateur scene and you know, local tournaments and whatnot. They're really reaching into, like, you know, the player base. I think it's one of the many failing, well, not many failings, but one of the failings of Hearthstone is they just kind of highlight the main players, and that's about it. Where this year, they're kind of dipping their hand in every bag and pulling what's good and what's working out and bringing it to the forefront. And it's really exciting to be a part of this community right now.
And the thing is, they're kind of letting it grow from the ground up. And Twitch numbers aren't like the greatest that they would want right now, but it is growing from event to event. I think it topped out at around 45,000 this weekend, but it's always been better numbers than the previous event, which is what you want to see, really.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, and real quick, just to recap on the final game, it was Blackheart's Bay, and the team comp that won it was Murden, Tyrande, Jaina, and who were the other ones? Malfurion and Zagara.
And they're all on sale this week because of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next week.
No, it's actually the heroes are on sale this week. I think.
Oh, the skins they
week.
used will be next week. That's what it is. Okay,
but
Zagara
Zagara had such a good mod at the end of that game that won them that was.
Yeah.
Shout out
it's
to
a
the
complete
patrons.
total lockdown team comp. I mean, it's you know, it's stuns for days, and you know, so
the only thing I'm worried about is I'm going to go into Hero League and someone's going to pick Tyrande and be like, I'm going to do what Cloud9 did.
That happens every week. I mean, remember how much Illidan we saw after Heroes of the Dorm?
Oh my god.
They're getting on me in Twitch chat. It's Tyrande. I'm sorry.
Duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
TYR.
That doesn't sound good.
It doesn't. It sounds like Rhonda,
Rhonda.
and she doesn't look like a Rhonda.
Yeah.
You know, I know a Rhonda. I went to high school with a
Rousey.
Rhonda, and she was about as good looking as a backside of a cow. So no, I'm not putting her in the same. Not putting her in the same thing as Rhonda.
Yeah.
Old Rhonda Stevens was her name. She smelled like whiz. I don't know. Anyway, so
her thighs as thick as Tyrande's?
yeah, no, they were thicker, and they didn't look as
watermelon.
they didn't look as good. So, anyways, yeah, the zipper to her jeans were like 3,000 psi, just ready to. Anyways, so okay, so guys, there was some new heroes skins and mounts that were released by Blizzard. Pretty epic, and I'm going to show just a little bit here. It starts off with the medic, and I have all sorts of Lieutenant Morales. It starts off with the medic, and she's got the video they released has all sorts of skins. She's very Alliance. She has another one that looks very Diablo-ish. The Master skin itself is unbelievable, especially the second tier that's green and orange and all sorts of fiery.
Metroid.
That one?
Yeah, the Metroid.
That is Samus.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, is that what it is? And then there's the Apocryphy Morales. And the skins with that are just unbelievable. I mean, I am so looking forward to the medic. I don't even care if she's bad. And then there's Artanis. They released all the skins for Artanis. And what we know so far about him is that he's going to want to be in the middle of the fights. That is his play. That's his playground. That's where he's going to want to be. We can talk a little bit about more of him in just a second. We're going through the video right now, guys. Just there's a stream delay, so.
Blizzard is going like full bore with the pop culture references because what was it? The Purifier skin for Artanis also has like a little nod to Neon Genesis. Ava 01, the purple skin there.
What do you guys think about Marshall Rayner?
I like his little coin that flips when he does his inspiring presence.
Yes, agreed.
If I ever play Rayner, that's the skin I'm gonna use.
Yeah,
sure.
Cowboy Rayner, definitely the way to go. I mean, the beard alone.
I was just about to say that beard, yo.
Yep.
Hey, the pleb mount might actually be used.
How about Buccaneer Falstad?
I am so psyched for this.
Immediate Blizzard, shut up and take my money.
Riding a parrot.
Dressed as a pirate.
Riding a parrot with a peg hook leg.
And he throws cannonballs.
And his hammer is now an anchor.
An anchor? Yes. Unbelievable.
And, I assume he says Yar a few times.
I would imagine probably so. Yes, that's the animation's unbelievable. So obviously you've got Marshall's Outrider that goes with the new Marshall skin for Rayner. Again, pretty sharp looking, almost a little steampunkish if you ask me. They displayed the Void Speeder. Which is all sorts of awesome. It starts out with black and green, and then the second tier was like a blue, and then the third tier is a purple. The monk floats above it, as you guys can see. And then there's the Nexus Battle Beast, another Kodo mount. Come on, Blizzard. I'm not a huge fan of that.
One thing to point out about the Void Speeder is I believe this is going to be one of the special unlocks with the Legacy of the Void collectors, or the digital premium edition, whatever that thing's called. So, yeah, that one probably won't be for sale. You'll have to get that through buying Legacy of the Void.
The Headless Horseman mount, the Vulture.
The only time I'll ever get that damn mount.
Oh, my God. Again.
You don't have the Headless Horseman mount, Jimmy?
No.
Oh, I got
it. The only one that doesn't.
Oh, my God, Jimmy. Yeah. So, anyways, Blizzard, shut up and take my money. It's unbelievable.
Guys, that's a lot of mounts. I'd like to see more skins, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. We have a lot of mounts. But I mean, variety's always nice. I just personally wish 2 skins and 17 mounts. Come on.
Justin Browder needs his hair growth material stuff.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Never mind.
There you go.
I retract my statement.
So,
I'm kidding. I love you, Dustin.
Just
he doesn't watch the show.
Yeah,
fine.
I know. Yeah.
He's at home like, I can't believe Jimmy would say that.
Yeah. So, all right. So there was a developer roundtable interview at the Heroes event, and Jimmy, why don't you bring us up to speed? What was covered? What was talked about? What's going on here?
So they all poured us into a room on Saturday, and we got to roundtable ask questions with Matt Cooper and Hugh Shelton, both designers, and one's a balance designer for Heroes of the Storm. And we had an hour-long discussion of just asking questions. And I think the big thing was a lot of people asked about Rexar, and they seem to be happy with him, even though a lot of people are complaining about him being designated as a warrior, and they stated that warrior doesn't necessarily mean tank. That's why it's such a kind of a broad term, because you have stuff like Sonya that's more of a bruiser, and stuff like Johanna that's a true tank. And they actually talked a lot about going back to the warrior designation. The last 3 warriors that they've released all have just disgustingly good wave clear, and they think that's why kind of the 3 warrior meta came out in Korea, because you can just clear lanes without any problems. There was just a lot of discussion about just a wide variety of things. Like someone asked about the Grandmaster League and if there might be bans for that. There's nothing set in stone right now, and Grandmaster League sounds like it's pretty far off because they didn't really want to talk too much about it. One thing they did want to talk about, but they couldn't, was the medic in Artanis. One of the guys, he was fidgeting because he really medic is. But the one little thing he did talk about was we've seen that one ultimate in the video where she turns into a dropship and can pick up the whole team and move the whole team. More than once, he's managed to kill his whole team doing that.
Oh, really?
I cannot wait
because you can
have
get
them all waiting.
Yeah, that, and you can get blown up in it. So yeah, that'll be an interesting ult.
Interesting. I want to have like a Falstad mid-air collision. Is what I want to do.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Right,
one of the things I thought was interesting, and I found it here. We were talking about it earlier when I was showing you guys the video. But Artanis, they said that Artanis is just about finished, and they were quoted as saying, "We've been done with with a character like this for a while now. They're just putting the finishing touches on him. We've said a couple things about him, about how he is an aggressive warrior that will be in the middle of a fight. He's a StarCraft warrior," and then he says, "I wish I could tell you everything about him, but I can't." So that's very interesting, especially when the last warrior that I remember that was, obviously very significant was the Butcher. And the Butcher is a guy that you don't want in the middle of the fight. He kind of rolls around and he picks people off one by one, as they're getting lower in health, as your team does their job and stuff. But this will be really interesting to see that he is going to be the one that is in the middle of the fight. So.
Yeah, definitely. And another thing they talked about in terms of the meta and it shifting and stuff was the fact that we're on what?
I'm sorry.
Now?
You know what? I'm sorry. I have to. They call me out. Butcher's an assassin, not a warrior. Sorry. Everybody knew. Yeah, that's fine. No, I'm glad he did it. I'm glad Man Mode called me out on that. You're right. I brain farted. I just figured. Yeah. Anyways, screwed the pooch on that one.
Yeah, but anyways, a little bit more. They were talking about maps, and I think there's 9 maps in the pool right now. They think they might change to doing rotations by week eventually, just because there's too many maps to just be prepared for.
I definitely like to see that, especially at the competitive level. I'd like the chance for maps to be off the board, so we might end up getting a few more interesting maps played at the higher levels, because there's no point in taking a risky map right now if you can avoid it. But I'd love to see, and it's happened occasionally, but I would love to see more haunted mines, more, whatever.
Definitely. And I think something a lot of people will be happy about is they've definitely been looking at Stitches and to an extent Diablo, and are looking to buff them. I think Diablo is one of the ones they were talking about buffing, and they're actually looking at changes to Leoric as well. I mean, if you watched the games this weekend, you saw that Leoric was exceptionally strong this weekend. And yeah, they are looking at warriors. They feel like warriors are kind of too much of a focus right now, so they might be adjusting some of them here and there.
Except for the Butcher, because he's an assassin.
They're a bit all over the place too, in my opinion.
He learns.
You've got 3 warriors on one end of the spectrum, all 3 with the lowest win rate, and then you have the Leorics and Johanna of the world who are just auto picks and cleaning up team fights and dominating things. So
yeah, speaking of auto picks, I think there was like 3 heroes that were all 100% picked or banned, and I can't remember the third one, but I know 2 of them. It was Jaina and Zeratul, which are not a surprise at all. But also, I was exceptionally surprised when I think it was Tempo Storm brought out Sonya multiple times.
They
just because we haven't necessarily seen her as much.
I've actually ran into Tempo Storm twice in Hero League, and both times they were running her. They made me pay.
They made me bleed from orifices.
Yes. Specifically Sonya.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the whole thing was an hour, so I still have to go through my recording and try to pull some more out of there. I'm sure I missed a lot already, and I know this article we linked to in the show notes missed a lot as well, because my question is not in there about Lost Vikings.
What was your question, Jimmy?
My question was, are you happy with where they are right now? Because we have Hotslog or Heroes, whatever it's called, the site where
Hotslogs.
Yeah, Hotslogs. They're
Great
like
site, terrible name.
Yeah, they're like what, third or fourth win rate, but like the lowest pick rate in the entire game. And they said they're okay with it, but they would like to see them played more, but they're not sure how to go about doing that right now.
Yeah.
I would imagine that would be hard because people are scared off by the difficulty of them. So you get specialists who are really familiar with them, so their win rate's going to look a little better. So it's hard. I don't feel like they're as powerful as they used to be since they changed the ship.
I agree too, but also I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing for the game to have these like super high skill cap heroes that only a limited amount of people try out. Because as the game grows, there's going to be more and more heroes to use.
Sure.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
I mean, the way that it was designed, I mean, it's almost as if that was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
And being a Lost Vikings player, it was frustrating when Rexar came out and I discovered I couldn't really control Misha.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They need to fix Misha. I know they covered that a bit.
Well, again, we like we said earlier, you don't go after Misha, you go after Rexar.
Exactly.
And that'll solve your problem.
So they just need to fix the control of her because, and I know they said like them splitting up like Rexar in one lane and Misha in another is completely unintended, and they're gonna fix that too.
Oh, I got you.
Yep.
Cool. Well, guys, every week we try to feature a build that you can find on heroesofthestorm.blizzpro.com, and this week it's actually a Falstad build, which, as you can see, we're all lined up here with Mirrodins. We should have lined up with Falstads.
Nah.
That would have been pretty sweet. Yeah, just birds everywhere. Looks like a stinking...
Bird jamboree.
Bird jamboree is exactly the terminology I was looking for.
Menagerie of dwarves.
So, but yeah, Falstad is pretty beastly. We've got, there we go. Now we got a whole bunch of flying birds around here. Let's talk about JR. You don't have the other skin, do you? You don't have the second skin. The black and red one.
I don't have any.
I don't have any.
All right.
I don't play Falstad.
All right. Well, for those
you're
of you,
about to learn.
You're about to learn. Those who do want to play Falstad, we are going to have Mr. Balrog Fan BP break him down for us.
Okay, Falstad, I honestly really like him. I think he takes a lot of work to be as effective as he can be. But since he's not really a priority to pick, especially when you're doing something like Hero League or if you're messing around in draft mode, he's a nice option to have. Because, I mean, you can put all the work in with Kelthus and Jaina that you want. Flat out, sometimes you're just not going to have access to him. Zero Tool as well. Whether it be because of bans or they were picked before you got a chance to pick, whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to play around with different assassins. So that's why you see, some good Rainers and some good Tychuses. And Falstad is another one of those guys who he's very good because of his movement. His lack of an actual true mount can be a little bit detrimental sometimes for moving around big maps, especially if you don't fly to the right area. Mm-hmm. Because his Z basically allows him to fly a pretty far distance, and he has a little bit of a takeoff time and lands. I'm sure people have seen it before. Mm-hmm. Basically, you gotta take care of your positioning choices when you do this. You don't want to put yourself in a position of danger, and when you land, because of the delay on the flight and the landing, things could have drastically changed. So especially flying into team fights, don't just go, okay, I'm going to land in the center of the team fight. I'm sure everything will work out okay for me.
Yeah. What you normally do is you pick where you want to land outside the team fight, and then it shifts to exactly where you're going to land.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I typically like landing in bushes just because it's a little easier, a little back out of the fight. Or, I mean, in some cases, it's great to land behind the team, especially if you're not going to be like landing in front of a tower or something.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to be using Mighty Gust, but we'll get to that. He's got a passive. It's Tailwind. He gets a 20% movement speed when he's out of combat. So if you can avoid damage and you're backing off, sometimes that little extra movement speed will help you get away or chase people down. So don't just like I just keep it in mind. But there's really nothing you can do to affect it other than be out of combat. So And then his 3 abilities, he has Hammerang, Lightning Rod, and Barrel Roll. This build is going to focus on Hammerang and auto attacks because that's probably his strongest build right now, and it works really well. And the Hammerang works, it has a boomerang effect, hence the name Hammerang, where you'll throw it out and it'll trace back to him. And you can do some interesting stuff where you throw it out and then barrel roll down and maybe catch more people that have shifted into different positions. So just getting a feel for the Hammerang will do a lot for you. Lightning Rod's a great burst tool, and it's really great for pushing people out of the lane early. As long as you don't overcommit positionally with it, it can be a really nice thing to keep people from coming in on him too. And barrel roll is a dash. It's a dash. You can chase people down. You can use it to get away.
And you get a 75-point shield for 2 seconds.
Yes. That is a nice little side thing of it that I often forget about. Yep. But yeah, you do get a shield.
So let's get into the talent tree here.
Okay, why not? Level 1, I take Power Throw, and that increases the range of Hammering by 40% and the slow duration by 25%. Since you're going to be using Hammering a lot, I don't find much else that useful in this build at this level. You can take Seasoned Marksman if that's your game, but I think farming minions is kind of hit or miss, especially on certain maps, and you're going to get a lot out of that extra range and slow from Power Throw. So, level 4, Vampiric Assault. Now, a lot of heroes have the option to get Vampiric Assault, but very few actually get a lot of mileage out of it, just because it can be hard to capitalize on it.
Right.
Falstad's health pool, though, is pretty small, and his auto attack damage gets really high with this build. So with those two things working in conjunction with one another, it's a really strong choice for Falstad. A couple of auto attacks can give you a significant heal that can often keep you alive or let you chase or get away or whatever.
I always went with Charged Up.
That's the one that buffs Lightning Rod, correct?
Yes, where Lightning Rod strikes the target 2 additional times.
That would be decent if you were moving for an ability power build, but even then, you probably take Gathering Power there. But I mean, Charged Up's not terrible.
Okay, no,
it has its spots, I would say.
Okay,
just not in this build.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay.
Fine.
It's exactly, and that's good. There's several good choices there. So.
Yeah. 4, he's got some good choices. 7, Secret Weapon. This is amazing. This is what makes the build an auto attack build for the most part, besides the level 13 pick. Your basic attacks deal 80% bonus damage while Hammerang is in flight. Now, when you took the Power Throw at level 1, the range is increased by 40%, which means it's out longer. And this allows you to get off, like, every attack becomes a critical hit for 80%, and the damage really piles up.
Yes.
The goal, especially during a team fight, you want to catch someone with a well-placed hammer and then focus your auto attacks on the most dangerous target. You will blow the snot out of, like, Nova or Kelthus or Jaina, especially if they're not paying attention to their positioning and they get too close to you. You can just melt their faces with this.
And 80%, that's such a huge damage increase.
It really is, especially considering Hammerang only has a 10-second cooldown. So it's going to be out and floating around a while, you know? So every 10 seconds, you get an 80% increase.
Yeah.
Level 10, both heroics are pretty good, but Hinterland Blast does really good damage. And it's got a very long range, and it can often catch those stragglers who get away, like just get behind the wall.
And if you time it with a good maw, it's sick.
This is very true. Yeah, getting 2 or 3 people in a maw or a Void Prison or any lockdown AoE ability followed up by a Hinterland Blast is just it's huge. And I can't tell you how many times I've been playing against a Falstad or using Falstad and got somebody who clearly thought they got away. Especially Zerotols. That is a lot of fun to just kind of guess where that Zerotol went. You just blow them like away when they're halfway across the map. That's wonderful. No better feeling. Level 13, Giant Killer. You have to take Giant Killer in this build. It's a giant damage spike. It's flat percentage based off the maximum hero's health.
Sure.
And once you get Giant Killer, you can wipe out those high health heroes, especially if they don't have any sustainability type things like shields or well placed heal or displacement tools that allow them to escape. Especially someone like Diablo, like you can really kill Diablo with Giant Killer and make his health pool almost. His giant health pool doesn't matter with Giant Killer.
Yep.
And I said giant a lot there. So moving on to level 16.
Giant stuff.
Giants. Hammer Time is a I don't know. It's this one. The stun can be very effective, but it's the first basic attack against the target slowed by hammer time or hammering. So you have to make sure you hit the hammer, and then you have to hit with the auto attack. Now, I mean, you've built so much into it. That's why this is a good pick here. And you can stun people out of things that, you know, it's a small stun. Like 0.75 is not that long, but 0.75 is still long enough to stun people out of channeled ults. So that's kind of why you take it, you know?
Yep.
'Cause he doesn't have any true stuns until hammer time. And level 20 is Nexus Frenzy. I mean, you've been building attack, damage all game. That extra speed and range is going to be huge when it comes to using Giant Killer and Secret Weapon and Power Throw and Vampiric Assault all in conjunction with one another. Becomes really hard to take down. If you feel like you really are just being late to everywhere you go, you can tape Epic Mount here. It'll help you get that fly off quicker. But most of the time, you're going to go Nexus Frenzy.
Sure.
And that's pretty much. I mean, in the early game, you're looking for targets to overextend their lane, and you make them pay with your hammer or your lightning rod. And once his auto attacks get going, they will also basically punish people for trying to get too close. You're able to dance in and out of your max attack range with your auto attacks, and I mean, you're looking to just pile damage on and force people out of lane. And most of the rest of the game, you're doing the same thing, except in team fights. If you like mobility on your assassins, and you have a really strong positional game, I would definitely consider Falstad, because he's a very fun hero to play, and his damage is no joke. And that is the end.
That is it. That's all I have to say about that.
Yes, sir.
So, very cool. Well, there is not only this, but there is a more complete guide on heroesofthestorm.blizzpro.com. You'll see this Falstad build on the front page as you guys go there, and you can read more about it and just kind of recap a little bit on everything that Charlie said. So
yeah, so Charlie, you know, we were talking at the beginning of the show how I like to play kind of more ranged heroes and things like that. I have yet to actually play Falstad. Would that be a hero you think someone like me would like more, or is it a lot different?
I definitely think you would enjoy him. He has a lot of great options in his kit that allow him to play your type of style. And I will say, Man Mode BL is bringing up a great point. Epic Mount is in really good conjunction if you go Mighty Gust. Mighty Gust is it's such a, I didn't really touch on it, but it is such a pain in the butt to deal with. A good Falstad will fly behind the enemy team and push their entire team into you, up and against walls, whatever. It's just total displacement when you combine that with Epic Mount. It's very good. But I do want to, JR, I would definitely say give him a shot sometime, because I think you'll enjoy playing him, and he's strong. There's nothing wrong with him, and you almost never have to worry about him being off the board, which is nice too.
Cool. And Mighty Gust, I might add, is on a 40-second cooldown. And Epic Mount reduces your cost or your time down to 20 seconds. So I mean, yeah, it's
your fly time.
Your fly time. Yep,
it's epic.
Yeah, reduce the cooldown of flight to 20 seconds. So your Z is on a 20-second cooldown, and reduces the cast time before flying to 0.5 seconds, and increases the speed by 50%. So you're zipping all over the map, and you're using your ult like crazy. Yeah, to just displace and harass. So
it definitely works, especially if you can get away without. Because I mean, you got to remember, Mighty Gust doesn't do damage.
Right.
So the 40-second cooldown is great because it doesn't do damage. I don't have a problem with it, unlike Kalthus's 40-second cooldown on Phoenix. Yeah. But that's a whole nother story. But yeah,
that's also another really great ult to have when you're at the core, when you're pushing core, and the enemy team is trying to prevent that from happening. There's been a lot of close calls there, and that just kind of pushes them away and allows your team to continue smacking down the house. So
I've also seen it used against a Garden Terror that was just killed, And then the Falstad landed, mighty gust them away from all the seeds, barrel rolled, took them all, and just was like, oh, what you gonna do, bro?
What you got on me? Yep.
That's too funny.
Sweet.
Yeah, you can do some really fun things with that alt. It takes a lot of practice, and sometimes just making sure you get the kill with Hinterland Blast is nice, but they're both great alts. Like, he's one of the few heroes who has wonderful choices in both alts.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, check it out. Here's the storm.blizzpro.com, guys. If you want another, if you kind of followed along but you didn't take any notes or whatever, it's right there spelled out for you. So, one of the things I do want to bring up is our Patreon account, guys. There are costs behind the scenes. We had to take down the video portion of this show off of iTunes because in order to have the video uploaded and support all the downloads that we get, which is a good problem to have, the costs were phenomenal. So heading over to patreon.com/heroespowerhour and helping fund this show keeps these things going, these behind-the-scenes costs. I mean, whether you like it or not, headsets break, microphones break, there's web server costs. Jimmy's trying to talk, and I'm not going to let that happen. All sorts of stuff. So go ahead.
Yeah, I haven't talked about this with you guys, but this is something I'm looking into. I don't know what the money will be set at, but I think one of the goals will be to bring back those video downloads, because I know people were using those. So I'm looking into what that would cost and setting that as a goal potentially in the future.
There you go. So the only way we can make it happen is with people like you. So, patreon.com/heroespowerhour.
Wait, I have one more thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But at Vegas at the event, one of our patrons actually came up and said hi to me, which was really surprised me. I didn't expect that to happen at some point. I don't know why I was surprised, but they do exist. You guys do exist in the real world, and I appreciate it. And Luke, thank you for coming up and saying hi to me. It was great to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely. At any point in time, did you finally tell him that you're not day 9?
Yes, I did.
Okay, all right. And then Luke immediately dropped you like a hot potato. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So, but you know what? I do want to give a huge shout out to our new patrons, Maria and Christy. Thank you so much, guys, for rocking it out and helping support the show. You guys don't even know. You don't even know what that does for us. And we did get an email from Christy, and I believe it's Christy, Christi. So yeah, I believe that's how you pronounce it. But Christy actually sent us an email, and he said, "Hey there, just stopping by to tell you that I've signed up for the Power Hour Patreon. I'm an EU player, double dipping by also leveling the US side of my account, and I've been looking for some people to play with on the side. Though since there's like a 10-hour time frame or a 10-hour time differential, I usually log on after either 8 p.m. Or 8 a.m. When I come home from work during the weekdays. Anyways, nice meeting you, and keep up the good work. And remember, we are the champions." And for that, my friend, we're going to play a little bit of Power Hour music here for you. So, anyways, I have to make a mental note to go back and actually edit that in because that doesn't go into the recording. So, so anyways, yes, big thank you for that. And also being a patron, we make sure that our patrons, if you want them, you get our battle tags. You can play Heroes with us. You can play Hearthstone. You can play WoW. You can play anything that you want. We want to develop a relationship with you guys and hang out with you and everything like that. And expand our friendships. And Jimmy sends pictures of his butt. It's weird. But you know what? We love it, and we love you guys. And
some people like that.
Some people are into it.
It's 2015. Who am I to judge?
Come on, there's not a single soul out there that doesn't want a picture of Jimmy's butt. So,
anyways,
true. I'm like a cam model. It's true. I'm like a cam model. I charge to get on my Snapchat.
That's right. You
do? Oh wow, nice.
That's right. Yep.
I feel privileged. I got in before the
paywall.
Paywall. Yep, he's on Snapchat under Fightin' Hair Boy, BOI. So, anyways, all right, enough of the nonsense. I can see the look on JR's face. He's not impressed with anything that's happening right now. So
it's either that or the Royals are shit in the bed.
No, that happened like 2 hours ago.
2 hours ago. All right. Well, guys, we are going to again thank you guys so much for the patrons. We are on iTunes. This audio is going to be on iTunes. The video is going to be on the Blizz Pro YouTube channel tomorrow morning, and for this portion, and then after I get home from work, I'm going to upload the gameplay portion. So you guys can check that out. You just go to YouTube, you type in Blizz Pro, you watch, you enjoy, you repeat. So stick around, everybody, in the chat room for part 2. And anything else, guys, before we're off and up out this bad boy?
I got nothing.
Got nothing? Let's jump into the Nexus, boys. Guys, thanks so much. We will catch you very shortly. See ya.